Good evening to one and all present here today once again. And yes, another very well said quote, by Sir George Bernard Shaw was progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. And as spoken by Sir, it's the people who dare to be different, dare to fly high, and take the initiative every time. Through our webinar series, we too want educators to be the first ones to try out new things, experiment, and get the wholesome experience. We really hope that someday, somewhere, the knowledge our team wants to provide today will be useful for all of you tomorrow. We request ma'am to now take the stage and begin with the webinar.
Thank you, Harsha. Thank you so much. So welcome everybody to the whosoever is present here. Thanks for coming here. And I am Rashmi Sharma, Director, Mentor, Gyan Rashmi Training, a CBSE resource person and a master trainer. I am also Humanistic Leadership Development Coach, Behavioral Change and Resilience Coach. So let's go to the mind mapping. It's actually has multifaceted role to play. It's can use it assessment as learning, which is the important part of NEP 2020. And in fact, it is solution to everything in every area, every walk of life, every age, every situation. Mind mapping is there to help you. It's so useful. So when we are talking such a useful, wonderful thing, and there are lots of good comments coming up in the chats, I was reading them. What it is, yes, many were good idea, good understanding about it. So I'll just try to share what I know about it. The phrase mind mapping actually was coined and popularized by a British psychology author and educationist, Tony Buzan. Tony Buzan expounded the theory that the human brain works on imaging. For instance, when you mention the word mango, all of the listeners will say that the picture of mango first came to their mind. I hope that this has happened to you as when you listen to the word mango. Many of almost every one of you would have seen the picture of it. So Buzan's thesis is that the brain works through radiant associations, colors, and multiple sensory linkings. So what happens when we hear something? We have a imagination, visualization of something, a story. Our mind automatically starts picturizing that story in our mind as if a movie going on running on our mind. So it's a collection of screenshots. Whatever memories we have, it has a collection. So it's in most of the time our brain works with images. And so Buzan's guidelines for creating the mind map was that we must have a center with image or idea concept or whatever we are going to think about it. And we can use at least, he suggests that I use at least three colors because color gives more clarity to our visuals. He used images, symbols, and codes throughout the mind map because it is important. They connect it to our mind very easily. And select keywords. Keywords are very important in because if we write a vague word, our mind will go into that. And he says that each image is best left alone. Not many to that. They then we make a relation, we try to build a linkage between the different ideas. So we can define a mind map that is a learning tool that allows users to create and share visual representations of things like maybe lecture, maybe notes, maybe researches. And in fact, mind mapping is useful for a variety of tasks and can be easily tailored to the user's needs. Here, because we are educators, we are restricting to the field how it is useful for the educators in both the way, for the learners, students, how they can use it, and teacher, how can he teach it for teaching. But it is useful for problem solving, for our, we are going into our life, we are like for our relationship areas, our job perspective, anything, whatever our thought process is. It's a free flow of thoughts going into the paper in keywords or in the images and pictures in a colorful way. So if we see a rough image of a mind map, it can look like that. Their central idea is here, and then we have different blocks and spheres to connect how we can, put in other details of connect link in different area, different aspects of this central idea. We will go to in the further, but it's a very simple and small picture I have shared of a mind map here. Yes, it is complicated. It is more useful for the higher classes. And mind mapping is an effective way to structure and represent your own ideas. It best laid plans and concepts because it's visual thinking exercise. It helps you to structure the information that is already in your head or in your mind. Like if you like write in a paragraph, it will be a little bit difficult to recall it, what was written in the paragraph. And mind mapping will also help you to better analyze your best ideas and comprehend your new strategies with greater clarity. And you can recall what you already know. And then it will also tell you what you need to know, in which area, while going further, you were stuck. You are not able to go further in the mind map. In a mind map, it is as opposed to the traditional notes taking or inert text. Information is structured in a way that resembles much more closely how your brain works. So, what we do not use only words. We can have pictures, we can use colors, we can use keywords only when it comes to. So, it is not, but we are not going weird in our ideas. We are is you very much centered around what it is coming to our mind. It provokes our thought process. So we can think creatively. We can think about new thoughts, new ideas, and we can see clearly what is how this one idea is going to connect it to the other point. How it is one idea may be dependent on other, one outcome may be the cause of the another outcome. So all these cause and effect relationships, dependency relationships, they emerge in front of our eyes through our brain thinking that yes, how we can link one idea to the other idea, how can we best use the information knowledge which is available to us, because it's just kind of like a brain in images has come in front of our eyes on the shape of a mind map on a paper. Since mind mapping is an activity that can be both analytical and artistic, as someone shared, because its art integration is already there in the mind mapping. So it also
Ma'am,
engages our, yes,
ma'am, I think your sound is a little problem. Some educators are complaining in the chat box.
this, what problem they have.
No, no, ma'am. Actually,
Because
your sound is a little unclear. It's breaking again.
it's breaking
Yeah, yeah.
from, can I
All right,
start
ma'am.
from
It's clear.
here?
Yes, yes, it's clear, ma'am. It's clear again. I think for some
Okay.
people, maybe it's the connection problem in there. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes, yes. Because I can hear you properly. That means it's okay for me as well. Otherwise, okay. So I was just defining mind map that it is a learning tool, and it is also it represents whatever is there in our mind in the form of keywords, pictures, and it connects the each relationship, how they can be connected to each different parts of the concept are linked to each other, and then how we use that information, analyze that information, and how creative we are. This is I showed the picture of a map. Here it is in the center. The black box is the center idea, and then we can further think whatever is coming to our mind related to that idea, what we know and where we stuck. Into this map is relatively constructed for a higher level of complicated problem, complex problem. So it's a little, in that way, there's some lots of words are there into it. And it also, we can, when we use a mind map, we can effectively structure and represent whatever ideas, the plans and concepts, because it is in fact a visual thinking exercise. We are not words. It is not words. It is visual. We are imagining whatever is coming to our mind, and it also that is why it can help us to structure whatever information we already know, what is in our head or maybe in our hearts, what we want in our life. So it can also, we can go through that process also. And it gives us also, as I already shared, that where what is the area where we finding some difficulty, what was that we have to understand. still work to improve it on. It also helps us to analyze our best idea, and we can comprehend our new strategies. Okay, we have to work in this way. What are the steps that I can take to work effectively in this process? What are the resources I will be needing to work in this area? And so I will become step by step more clear and recall whatever we want to do, how we want to do, and with what material resources I want to do some active and how long it will take, So that all these things they become very clear and very detailed when we put them into a mind map. And because it is a picture, it is just get impression in our mind as well, so we can recall what was there in the mind map. And it is opposite to the traditional note taking, as I have told you, that if we write linear text, if we write a paragraph, so our brain is not able to recall that very clearly. But because when we use a mind map, so it is the information is structured in such a way that actually resembles how our brain actually works. So it is just the brain finds it's very easy because this is the whole system. The brain is also working like that, and we are giving it the same things, how it can process the information through a mind map. And since mind map is an activity that involves not only analytical or critical thinking, but it also artistic, creative skills and color use. It also engages the brain's creative part in more richer way. And in fact, it helps us to use our all cognitive functions of the brain, left brain, right brain, whatever we call it. Many students we find they struggle. So, what is the best method or habit that can work for them? That what is the best way they can recall information, knowledge, and learn more easily? Very easier way. So, like they find it very difficult. Some of the conventional methods, like reading, taking notes, rote learning. So, very many people find it that it is served them very small number of ways. Not all the people, most of the people, students are not helped by them. For those who wants to seek an alternative way and which is more effective method of learning, so mind mapping is one of the best tools. They can use it for their learning processes. When students use mind map as a study learning tool, they are able to concepts more easily. They have a lesson in the classroom, and then they are required to make a mind map of the different information. Like there's a story, Happy Prince. Okay, what is the story? Who was the main character? What was the main event? How they were people helped into this story. So they can recall easily, and they are because they are not they don't have to write a paragraph or in detail. So then first key words can be useful, and they can recall that keyword all the time because they have put it in different colors. So it's easy for them because they are integrating themselves into the learning process. So they are one. So it is similar to the act of studying, reiterating, and explaining information to a partner. So they can work with a partner, they can work alone, they can work in a group as well. And they build a mind map. Their brain is forced to make association between various pieces which earlier used to disconnect. So when we connect them through the lines, and so they make, okay, this is how, like we say that organ system of the body. So when we say center idea is organ system, one of the system is digestive system. What is the function of the system? Then we can use digestion of the food. Then we can further ask them, what are the main body parts involved in this? They can further write it into this. So this can help them clear picture in a nutshell that what is a digestive system is. So they can connect the information. And in the end, this also helps students that they develop a clearer and more complete picture of a topic or a concept. And starting with mind maps leads to better information retention. When we see in pictures, this is resembles the working of our brain. So it also helps our brain to recall whatever information we have seen in the mind map. So they allow students to fully engage in the topics at hand because they use information in visualization and outlining the relationship between the different ideas. And mind maps mirror the way our brain actually works. The mind map involves a combination of our imaginations, colors, visual spatial arrangement, which is proven to be significantly improved. Recall when compared to the conventional methods of note taking or learning by rote. So suppose we are talking about problem solving technique and we are using a thinking in a different way. White hat thinking, yellow hat thinking, red hat thinking, black, green. So we can use all these colors of to represent the thoughts and ideas according to the hat, color of hat we are using. Like suppose white color hat, what are the facts? The facts we can read in the white color column. And then we can use it in the other teaching things, but we can also use them into different aspects of our life. So, like suppose a child is not able to understand or would perform better in the examination. After that, he says, okay, I'm getting results. So this is and then it helps in the learning because it's a great aid in the learning for countless reasons. I will not go for that. But first of all, important is that they encourage the brain to make associations between different keywords, phrases, and images. So they can be used by the students to brainstorm ideas for creative projects. Either they can do for their alone or within a group, as well as it helps them to plan and structure work such as essays, reports, presentations, how they are going. Suppose I want to make a presentation on a certain topic. I can first go to making a mind map that how my thoughts are going to be represented in the different concepts. How I'm going to, what are the examples I can use? What are the facts I can use? When I structure a mind map, it's easy for me to create a presentation of any topic, whatever I'm presenting here. As a teacher, you can also use it. So mind maps are also a great revision aid also, due to the fact because they can be used to break down complex information and improve memorization and recall. So when we are going through division work, we can just build a map and leave some words empty and ask students what should come here, so they can recall the information what is there, because they can make associations of the different facts given in this in one of the mind map. And it's really fun to work with. A study by Goodnow and Woods discovered that the students perceived using the technique as a fun, very interesting, and motivating approach to learning. It's very difficult these days. You have the attention of the students because there are a lot of distractions there now. In the lot of information, and especially because they have gone online, so they have become distracted. But a lot of distractions all automatically come to their mind. While mind maps give them a more concentration, creativity, and use of their imagination, where they use, so they are motivated, towards learning. And several students also attributed the fun aspect to the opportunity to be creative when creating maps, because oh, which color I will use, because they are simple. I can make this picture instead of writing this word. I can create a picture. I can use this color. So they have to think in a creative way, symbols, color, design, their own design. They can make it in a flower form. They can make it in a whatever way they love to do it. It gives them ample freedom and opportunity to be creative. So that is why it motivates them. As a teacher, many of you have already shared that you use in your pedagogical learning tool, because the visibility of mind mapping, it also provides an effective approach to promote and better understanding in the students. Once you have a mind map adapter that you explain the concepts very easy for the students to understand as well. And the flexibility of this tool means that it is also possesses several use in the classroom, such as for teachers explaining what to students, future lesson plans. You can also use it in your lesson planning, your mind map. What is the lesson I am going to take, topic I am going to take? What are the teaching aids I can use into? What are the visual things I can include into this? So it mind map is also not for their own thing. You can also use it for their betterment. Effectively do your own work, your lesson planning, your revision guide, how you are going to do, what resources you will be needing. You will be very clear once you sit on create a mind map about your own work you are going to do. So using a mind map in the classroom is also a successful way to support children's exploration and presentation of ideas, because when you divide the class into pair and ask them to recall and make a, so all the students in the class will have different, and then you can combine them into group of four. Okay, now share your ideas with each, mind map with each other. So they will have a lot of variety into your classroom, how each child is representing, and without you are telling them, they will understand that what are they. The most important thing is that it is useful not only for the higher classes, even the primary classes, with the use of pictures, symbols, and different colors, they can use it. Second, third, they are more creative, they are more imaginative students, and that will help them to explore their creativity. Which it's a common talk these days. Our education system is such that it actually uh, hinders the growth of creativity into the students. So they are not innovative when they grow up. And as a child, because they have not been allowed to be creative, they are not creative in the later stages, and that makes them less employable when it comes to their professional life, because they are not innovative in their thinking. And these are the times when the more innovative you are, more creative thinking you have, and critical thinking you have, problem solving. These are the 21st century skills which we actually NEP 2020 focuses on developing into the students. And mind map is an excellent tool that actually provides all these things: a group work, teamwork, everything. It gives them that opportunity, that how it can be developed into the students. So what does a mind map look like? Let us go to the real. This is, in fact, a mind map. It covers almost all the information I have shared to you right now. And look, I have purposely made my slides very simple so that you can feel the difference between when it comes to a mind map. So here, we're talking about mind map, it's telling the planning, how it helps in planning our project. We can plan our goals, our strategies. If we use of creativity, we have ideas. We can use innovation. It activates our thought process. And when it comes to the productivity, it is more effective. It is intuitive. Let's go to the collaboration. It improves, encourages teamwork, sharing with the colleagues, and then benefits. It's very simple, fast, and fun. It's easy to memorize. It just puts an overview. So if you see, look at this map, mind map, you can see that it actually overviews most of the information which have been shared with you right now. So you can feel the difference, that how creativity, different colorful, it will, you can recall it easily because it uses a lot of color symbols also. Red actually idea. We normally see a bulb with the idea. Benefits, it's always very smiley, when we feel good. Teamwork, we are together in a group. So symbols are also there. And it gives, if you allow your students to have freedom, they will be more creative, much more creative than we are at this stage, because they are very good at solving problems. They are not restricted by the barriers which have been we have been living for, through those barriers when we were young as students, what we are learning. So it's easier for them. So give them the freedom, come with the ideas. Okay, make your mind map, and also you can use them for their various on their own various purposes. So this is again some a map which tells us about the benefits of mind mapping. It's a brainstorming tool. It can give ideas, concept, problems. You can talk about it. Can more understanding. We have more connections and we have relationships which will lead to our brainstorming there. Then we have some organized. It's very organized one because these the ideas come from here. We can take it here. We concept. We look at the facts, then the facts is there, what we recall from our associations, we have inter connections, and then a note taking. It is between lessons, wherever we go, we can, if we are planning something, we can take it as a meeting and to communicate. We can talk about new ideas, thoughts, because we have put them in our mind map. So we don't have to recall or something. We just look at our mind map, which we have created, and then we can recall, present the information, or whatever if we have attended something before earlier to that, we can recall this idea. Mind mapping is actually a free thinking exercise. A lot of people are unfamiliar with it and don't quite know what it is. Put simply, it's just brainstorming with branches. So, as I was talking about it, is because since we are educators, we have talked about the mainly the use of in the education sector in the classroom with the teaching learning processes. But in fact, if we talk about our emotional well-being, which is a very primary concern in this COVID affected period, with our students, with our relationship, a mind map also helps us to analyze our own thinking better. Like we talk about our own thought process. What were the you can use okay negative thought. What were the recurring thought? How many thoughts were recurring? How many were negative, positive? How I can help categorize them. Were they helpful to me, unhelpful to me? So this they are not. So because it's a tool of problem solving. So in whatever area there is a problem, you can use it for your financial structure. The what are my, how many sources of income I have, from where, what are my needs, how I'm meeting as a individual. It is very helpful to in all aspects of your area. And this is what actually NEP focuses. We will be able to relate, multidisciplinary approach to talk. It's not about why that is we are learning maths, we are restricted to maths, because our life is full of all is inclusion of all these areas, the subjects we study, our experiences we have. The more we include all the experiences into our, the more clear we become, the more wise we become in this way. So this is what actually this mind mapping is one of the tools that integrates all the things into. We might use different subject categories for our teacher learning, but all this kind of because we want to create those people who can really use these tools into their actual life. Mind mapping is not something that I or you as a teacher can use for the teaching learning process. It is can be applied to improve our life in any direction we want to use. So mind map uses colors, connections, and keywords, and also pictures. This is a nutshell. How to create a mind map? There are certain steps to it. We have central idea, word or image, whatever how we put the central idea is words or image. Then we can connect it to the main branches where we are like, want to go or where this idea leads to us. Then we can have some detailed branches, put more information into it. Then this is the summary. Use colors, use the word, image, main concept, branches, and insert picture wherever you would like to insert it them. This is a mind map about somebody told that for the grammar part of speech. Here we see adverbs, here we see verb, action verbs, then we announce person, place, thing, ideas for some lower classes. As we go to the higher classes, it can be more complicated. We can have here we can insert picture of a person, place, something or idea so that it can become more colorful. It's up to you how we use it. So in a nutshell, what I say is again overview of the map. We can recall once again what we are talking about, how we have done it, So what are benefits if we can see into it? So no, not any area or subject or class is there where we cannot use mind map. It's such a wonderful, interesting tool to use and a free flow of ideas. Don't have to prepare much to use this tool actually. Just tell them to do and they will do and you can just add your own intuition. So, so just I know you all of we have talked about it, but again to have a recall, we can select a concept, we can share the learning outcomes, that what are they going to learn, then we can explain them, ask student to review, collect more information, put them into a map, whatever they have learned, and then you can use this as an assessment. You can have a create, you can create a rubric and you share with the students that how they are. So it is not learning, this can also be part of your formative assessment. It can be used as learn as a learning tool by where students themselves use it for their own learning, assess themselves and they improve their own area, and you use it as a formative assessment tool, the multiple uses into the context of. And when you use it as a formative, as learning, for learning, as an assessment, you praise them, what is the good, you can question them, what they did not do well, and then you can clarify their doubts. Then you can give them some suggestions that what steps they can take to improve in that particular part, concept of the area that they were not able to do good. And then it comes, so we can repeat the cycle if required, because it's continuous learning, continuous improvement, continuous feedback, continuous feed forward. And so the teaching learning process goes on continuously. There are certain websites available. If you, I know only there will be many. I have selected, I use bubble.us or mindwork.com. It's a good online. There are many platforms if you would like to use uh, online mind mapping tools for the higher classes. Of course, it is good in the primary classes. You give them for hand because it is also hand brain coordination. It gives more clarity and it is easy for them to use it. From here, I stop my share. If you have any questions,
Ma'am,
something.
can you just copy
Yes.
paste the links you had on the 34th slide so that all the teachers can also access it?
Yeah, sure. I will do that.
Yes, yes. All right, so all the educators present today, I think ma'am has just completed her session. And if you all had, any questions in mind earlier or right now, please do post in the chat box for the same. And I will be sending the attendance certificate link right now. Please fill it with correct email IDs and you will get your certificates by tonight, all of you. And the recorded session will be there on YouTube and you can access it from there as well. So if you have missed any part of it, don't worry at all.
Thank you so much. If you have any query, we can talk about it.
If you all have any questions in mind, please do so. Okay, ma'am. So we have a question here by Saritha ji.
Yeah.
Is mind mapping
Okay.
useful in mathematics?
Yes, it is useful because you can use it in the mathematics as well. Suppose you are talking in the primary classes about like measurement of volume, capacity, mass, and distances. Then you can use the what is the standard unit of measuring. Then meter, kilometer, small for larger distance, short distances, and then we can use the mass, weight, kilogram, gram. So in the lower classes also mathematics also you can fraction, what kind of fractions we have, what is, so we it just needs from some creative thinking how we can represent the main keywords. What are the keywords in a chapter? Just you have to what is the central idea and what are the keywords. linked to that idea in different aspects. And if you go to the higher classes like mensuration, we have surface area, we have the volume, we have different shapes and objects which we do. We have sphere, cone, pyramids, cuboid, cubic, cylinder. All these things you can use the formula of surface area. This is the formula for volume. This is the formula. So it kind of you can represent them and how they are going to solve a word problem. That is there also. The mind map is also useful. What they have to find out is the central idea. So they centrally how they will reach, then analyze how it is connected to the in the it's a very good analytical skills that my age is this, father's age is this, and whose age I am going to find. So you can use it into your classroom.
That's a very, very wonderfully explained response, ma'am. Thank you for the same. We do have some other questions as well for you. So,
Yeah.
some teachers are asking, how can you use mind map in sports, grammar? Like, how can you customize mind map for different subjects? Are there any specific techniques, or is just the one concept, which can be used for all?
What happens in a way that you want to use for your teaching, so then what is the central idea you are going to teach them? Suppose it is grammar or you active passive. You take active passive, so converting sentence into, so how many tenses we use into this, you write them into the how they, what are the words which we change into converting an active sentence to the passive. So when you think, you know sit on a table with a paper with the central idea, your mind will work automatically. And if given opportunity to work, your mind to work for you. Like in a poem, you can, what is the central idea of the poem? And then perfect life. Suppose I remember there is one of the poem. It's a short the comparison between an oak tree and a flower of lily. Lily lives a very short life, but it is gives fragrance, beauty, and the oak tree, the lifeless, lives for 300 years like a log, no use. So that these are the central idea. When you explain, you can ask your students to write down. You can write on your own. And it's not. I told you, my mind mapping is just free flow of ideas coming from your mind, and just you link them. Which one is linked to which? I basically what I'm sharing with you is my knowledge, but I feel it how I use it for myself.
All right. Um, okay, we have some. Yes. So, ma'am, we have one other question for you by Miss Rita. How can we actually use mind map in classes? So, if some educator wants to start the usage of mind map, what is the best suggestion from your end?
If they want to just create a mind map, it's so simple as that. If you want to use, you want to try some websites. I links I have to for the two. I have shared the links, but for there are other mind manager, like some are free, some take up, some give you some time free, and then after they are chargeable, and making drawings from your pen pencil idea on a small paper, big chart paper, or a drawing sheet. That's so up to you that how you take. The only thing, once you put the central idea in between, your mind will just really, and then you can, like we have show them into the classroom. If you have the online, you can show them on the screen, your smart boards as well. You can create a slide of it. It depends on how what technology are you going to use. Even if you want to use a pen paper, that is also good colors and all that. If you use online methods, that is also good.
All right, all right. That's again a very delightfully, wonderfully explained response, ma'am. So, all right. I think, ma'am, there are no further questions as of now. So, dear educators, if you have any other question for ma'am, please do post in the chat box. Again, ma'am will clear your queries as of now.
So some Rosa, I see a message from Rosa. I want to show how I have used mind mapping. If you can allow, it's up to you,
Um,
Harsha, because if this idea can be shared, or you can write it in the chat box. I don't know. This is all about Harsha.
Yeah, ma'am, actually, I think okay, Miss Rosa, have you joined from a laptop, ma'am? Shall I make you the co-host with me? Okay, ma'am, I think some of the educators have a doubt how to exactly create a mind map. Maybe they're not very clear with the basic concept of what to do exactly, like how to go ahead with starting the mind map.
Like I tell you, if you want to you teach a language, suppose you want to the grammar. I have showed you that there was a for a primary class the parts of speech that mind map was created. It was created by hand on a paper. I
Uh,
can share that part again if you would like to see it. Yeah, here it is.
Tanya ji, thank
You
you so
see,
much
it
for
is
the
for the younger
explanation,
kids.
ma'am. But I can't do that, ma'am, because it will give the option to all the 291 participants, I think. So I cannot do that,
Okay.
ma'am.
Hmm.
But yeah, Rosa ji,
You see, parts of speech.
if you want to get in contact with ma'am, I'll give you the LinkedIn ID of Rashmi ma'am's LinkedIn profile.
Okay, somebody asked, what is the between a mind map and a flow chart? Flow chart actually takes you into linear thinking. It's not multi-directional. When you make a flow chart, it is a linear, so one after the another. But if you put it into, and that is only one idea you can talk about, in a, it's not colorful, it is not, it doesn't insert into it. But if you like use a mind map, because it is multi-directional, it is more image based, and its workings resemble the working of our brain. We all parts of our brain, when we create, become creative, you become, you visualize. It's a visualize information. So flow chart is more on fact, it is more on visualization, it is very close to the working of our brain. It's more effective. Your flow chart is also good if you can use it, but first, if you are good in making flow chart, make a flow chart, convert it into a mind map. That will be an understanding to that. This is what my understanding I'm sharing with you.
Okay, ma'am, that's a beautifully explained response. So, ma'am, there's another question. Is it possible to have mind map for every content by Asha ji?
Most of the time it is possible, because as I told you that is wonderful. It is it can be used in every any aspect of your whole life. So it also only depends what topic it is there. Maybe some of them will be not too much things into somewhere. You can put only a little restricted information, but it can be 95% it can be used.
All right, ma'am. Okay.
And when you are stuck, I will give you what I use today. It's very helpful. Ask a student to do that. Okay, how you create a mind map. They will do it anyhow. But
Definitely.
the only thing is that you have to, start practicing with the simple things first, so that you can take them the complicated in the higher classes. Because we have not been using these tools. It's something which is, few years I have been put it into
Definitely.
education, and especially so we as a teacher we are process, as a students we are learning process to work together in collaboration.
Right.
Okay,
Ma'am, there's
how can
another.
we do that? That's the approach.
All
Yeah,
right.
please.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm getting disconnected again and again. I think it's because of my network issues.
Uh,
Yeah. All right. So, ma'am, I think there's just one other question we can take. Rita
uh,
ji is asking, is mind map similar to TLM? I really don't know what TLM is.
can you put not use the abbreviation because TLM can have multi
Yeah.
meaning, multiple.
Uh,
So if a whole word will be useful.
so, ma'am, till Rita ji answers the TLM full form, we can have another question. Asha ji is asking, difference
Uh,
between mind map and concept map.
okay. So actually, the only thing is that as a flow chart, mind map is multidimensional. See, concept is clarifying that particular concept. That is also visual representation of the information. Okay. So concept, we get one concept, and then we are talking about the other concept. So what are the details into in different? This is what we say concept because it's a concept map is a visualize. There are many similarities into them. Some differences are also there. It may mind map key concept are written in the area and you use branches. What you do in a box or all, it is not colorful. It is not more flexible in the concept map. You just take most of the time it is a little bit similar to the flow chart and links we do not label the links in a concept map in a mind map we use them and this was this concept map was coined by Mr. It's not like it's a harder part totally different. There are similarities, there are differences. The only thing differences which we have that this they are more general. We can use into any thing, and concept maps are we use only in the context of concepts.
Definitely, ma'am. Definitely. So, ma'am, I think we'll wrap.
So it's not like a very hard and fast, but they are opposite to each other. They are totally different. It's not like that. But the thing is that mind map is more flexible, more free flow thinking than concept maps.
Right, definitely, definitely, ma'am. So, ma'am, I think it's time that we wrap up the session for the day. And yes,
Fine.
before we
Yeah, sure.
allow you to take your leave, we have a short word of thanks prepared for you. And yes, after that, we'll just wrap up the session. And yes, to all the educators, the session will be available on YouTube. So, if you have missed anything, whatever Rashmi ma'am said today, you can definitely access it from there. Thank you. All right. So, a very well said quote by Sir Napoleon was, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. And today, we also conducted a session which made sure to provide the very essence of this well said quote. Well, on behalf of I, Harsha Agarwal, and the Homework App team and all the educators present here today, I would like to extend a warm gratitude to Ms. Rashmi Sharma, who is a CBSE educator, mentor, and a master trainer, and has numerous laurels in a field of work for taking out the necessary time out of a busy schedule and grace us with this immense knowledge. Once again, we give a warm regards to you, ma'am, and hope to connect with you sometime again in future.
Thank you so much.